the superego is the internalization of all the punishers and judgers and authoritarians and authorities in your life as a child. Your superego is an internalized thing. It's that fucking voice in your head that is beating you down and judging you and telling you you're not good enough. You're not enough of something. You're never going to be enough of something. That's the superego, and it is the internalization of all the critical voices you've ever experienced. So we're carrying around our abusers in our head, all of us. We're carrying around abusive, authoritarian, pathologizing ideas about our own emotional expression. Our bodies are always trying to heal. That includes emotions. When you need to cry, when you feel it welling up inside of you, you feel that lump in your throat, you feel it in your chest, that is emotion trying to come up and be expressed and to be released. Your body's just trying to do what it's made to do. What happens for most people? We start experiencing grief coming up, or stress, or shame, and we have an experience of anxiety or panic. Because what if we actually express that emotion? We'll get punished, just like we did as children. Even if you grew up in a great home, you still got punished in the school or the society for that kind of thing. And so we internalize the abusers, the rules, the authorities, and we punish from the inside out. Not to be conspiratorial, but that's really how we are manipulated. That is how we are separated and divided, is we have internalized all of this generational trauma, all of these generational rules, all these generational curses, and we have this superego that is a programmed internalization of the authoritarian powers of our lifetime, and we are subservient to it. We're trying to get away from it. If we start expressing the emotion that is natural and normal, that relates to stress and grief and trying to set boundaries in a predatory environment, if we actually start to express that emotion, we experience anxiety and panic because to express that emotion is dangerous. So our anxiety and panic is not the problem. Our anxiety and panic is our body doing what it's made to do, which is to protect us from the fear that if we express that emotion, we will be judged, punished, abandoned, subjugated. We will be excommunicated from the tribe somehow. Just like we all experienced as children. It's wild, man. We're all doing that automatically. And it's what makes us so easy to be manipulated, because if you learned to internalize that superego as a child in the context of avoiding punishment from malicious authority, well, you're a good little citizen in an authoritarian culture because that voice has already been internalized and you're avoiding punishment. We're all avoiding punishment. We're all just trying to make sure we get by, we don't get punished too much, and we keep on giving our hard-earned money to people who clearly do not give a shit about any of us. And I'm not trying to rant, honestly. I'm observing the experience that I'm experiencing in my life. I have a beautiful community of people. I get to have a really beautiful life with a lot of beautiful people. And I'm a citizen navigating a system that is obviously preying upon me and everybody else. And if you say, ouch, please stop. If you try to stand up for yourself, if you try to actually set a boundary, you have the same experience that you would in an abusive home. When you try to set a boundary with that IRS or that insurance company or that city government that's trying to put up a data center, if you try to set a boundary, you're judged and punished and pathologized. It's what we do. We pathologize and punish in society. You lock them up or you put labels on them. And you tell them that their expression of anxiety, their expression of panic, their natural expression of anxiety or panic is actually a disorder. And it's their fault and it's their problem. Rather than they're having a natural response to the fact that if they were to totally and completely express their outrage and their anger they would be judged and punished. So what does that turn into systemically and individually? It turns into depression. That is what depression is for the most part systemically. It's learned helplessness. I am having an experience where I feel that I need to set boundaries for myself. And when I try to set boundaries for myself or others in a way that I think is in alignment with ethics and agreements and just being a reasonable person, there's always the risk that you'll be judged and punished for that. So I'm having an experience here in my body, and you're having an experience there in your body. And we're all experiencing the same predatory system. And yet, we're just standing back waiting for something to happen. Everyone's waiting right now for November because they're just hoping that we still have a democracy. I actually think that's what's happening. Everyone's just holding their breath. They're like, holy crap, I hope we can. And honestly, I say this whatever side you're on. Because certainly if you're on the side of, if you're a person at this point who says, you know what, I think it's awesome that we take a bunch of money, 40% of the money from our citizens, and then we give it to other people, and we make sure to tell our citizens if they ask for anything that they're socialists. We are creating socialism around the world because we're giving all this money away. It's insane once you think of it that way. We are having socialist programs with countries all over the world by giving them 40% of our money. But if we ask for like, hey, would you mind, could I maybe have health insurance for all the taxes I pay as a small business owner, as a citizen, when I get gas, when I get food, I pay taxes on everything, but I have to pay a mountain of money to get health insurance. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable that we would even dare to call that anything other than reasonable. But if you ask for it, oh man, that's some socialist. You're on the left. You're this, you're that, you're some kind of thing. And it's so easy to manipulate people with that kind of shit. Yep, you're one of those people. You want health care. You want your taxpayer dollars to go to something for this country, for your neighbors. You want to do something good with it. You're definitely a socialist if you ask for anything like that. Do as I say or else. That is the authoritarian parent, teacher, priest, president. Do as I say or else. It's the authoritarian city council. It's the authoritarian school council. It's the authoritarian senate. Do as I say, fall into a line, just deal with it, suck it up, or else. Anyway, this is coming out because this is my experience as a person, and I'm really happy at the same time, and I'm getting to do awesome things at the same time, and I'm getting to hang out with a lot of amazing people at the same time, and I know a lot of amazing people who are also going through some very difficult shit. So I think it'd be so amazing if we just looked at each other and said, hey, what's it like in there for you? This is what it's like in here for me. And I'm not going to tell you what to do, and I'm not going to try to put anything on you. I'm not going to try to make you do anything. I'm just going to tell you what my experience is like in here. And I just did. And I would always love to hear from anyone in my life about what it's like in there for you. No judgment, no punishment, no separating, no dividing, no telling you what you ought to do. Just saying, hey man, this is my experience. This is how I'm navigating my experience. What's it like in there for you? This is fun painting and talking to you. I got to grow up in the era of Bob Ross, like legit Bob Ross on PBS, just painting and talking up a storm. Just the most gentle, beautiful human ever. Beautiful little mountains, beautiful little trees. I hope you all have a really peaceful night. And I hope whatever it's like for you in there, that you can take a step back, be still, and feel safe enough with some people in your life, or seek people out who are safe enough that you can open up and just tell them what it's like for you in there. And then if we collectively put those kind of people into power, then maybe we create a community and systems where we listen to each other and we do what's best for each other. But if we keep allowing sadistically narcissistic, abusive people into power, which that's what they seek, that's what they thrive on. And of course, a lot of people just run away from that, because who wants to deal with that kind of nasty environment? But we need warriors, man. Warriors that are willing to navigate that environment so that we can live in communities where we can show up for each other, where we can be responsible. Anyway, I really enjoyed getting to share with you all tonight my experience. I'm just vibing, just rapping with you. This is what it's like for me in here. I wonder what it's like for you in there. Peace out.